Hi guys, it's Duwana here, and I am so excited to share with you some pattern hacking tips for the virtual holiday social. So I have a few patterns that I picked out that I've hacked or want to hack, and I will share what I did or what I would do to make it go from, plain to more exciting and holiday social friendly. All right, so let's get started. All right, so the first pattern I have is 8982 from Simplicity, and I love this pattern. This is actually my tried and true pattern. I have made this probably about 4 times, and I've done something new to it every single time. So I'm gonna share some things that I did to hack this pattern to make it just look a little bit more, festive. Or what you can do to it to make it a little bit more festive. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna be sharing my screen so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing, okay? This is Simplicity 8982. And so you have 4 different outfit options. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different outfit options. You have the whole dress, the shirt, there's another shirt but with a little puff at the end of the sleeve. Then you have a longer skirt and a shorter skirt. So the one that I normally end up doing is A. I love A because it is a dress. I love dresses. Dresses are my thing. I don't mind separate pieces, but honestly, dresses is always my go-to for every pattern. All right, so let's say that this is the dress. Something that I have done with this pattern is basically take and you guys have seen this one recently. If I'm working with stripes, I tend to not want stripes to go in one direction. So sometimes you have like your stripes and it's going in one direction. All right, but you can add a little pizzazz to it by having the stripes go in another direction. So I'm going to show you what you can do. So on every pattern, there is a bust line. And so you can find that bust line, extend it just a little bit, and you can put your stripes going one way. All right, your striped fabric one way like this, and then put your striped fabric the other way like this. So I've done a dress like this and I absolutely love it, and that just adds a little bit extra to it. Okay, and you can have it go all the way down. And what's also fun is because it's stretch, it doesn't really matter which direction you put the stretch because it stretches the same way like every single time. So you don't really have to worry about that. You can have the sleeve stripes going down like that, or you can have it going across like that. And I think that this dress already looks super fun. And so I also shorten the dress. I like short dresses, but I would sometimes shorten my dress just to the knee length. And if you don't want it short, but you still want to add some more fun to it, you can also either change the direction of the stripes. You can have it going downwards to add a little bit more pizzazz, or you can have it going at an angle, maybe like that. That's another thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do is if you decide that you want to keep it at your knee length, you can add a little flare to it by adding a little circle skirt. I love circle skirts, but this one won't be at your waist. So you basically can make a full circle, folding your fabric a few times. I believe Mood Fabrics has a great calculator to help you calculate your circle skirt the right measurement. So you just want it to be basically the same circumference as your bottom, and then the result of the circle skirt gives you like a little flare right here, and that's so much fun. And then you can change up your stripes again, and look how fun that outfit is already just by cutting it just a little bit shorter and adding a circle skirt at the bottom. So you can honestly do so much with this pattern, and that's why I love it so much. You also don't even need to add the sleeves. You can just take the sleeves off, right, and just kind of keep it without any like you can just take the sleeves out and just do that. Or you can, and I just reminded myself that this would also be cool, you can also get a different fabric of the same type of stretch, and then also just add that to the end. Another thing you can actually do with this one is you can do puff sleeves without the cuff at the end. So if you decide to do that, and when I say puff sleeves without the cuff at the end, I'm gonna erase some of this stuff. Oops, I don't want to like get rid of everything. We can keep that right there. You can basically create a puff at the end that's a little shorter, so to kind of give it, you know, that extra flair. And so, wow, look at that. You have like a full full ball gown already. But yes, you could do that. So I'm gonna go on to another one, and I hope you found this at least a little bit helpful. Let me pick another pattern from my stash here. I have, this one is 8703, and I love simplicity because it's actually simple to use simplicity patterns. I will show you exactly what I did to make this one a little bit more festive and holiday-esque. If you see, this is 8703. So this is specifically for knits. You want to get a fabric that stretches with this one, or it's going to be too tight. Let me show you what I would do to this one. So what I actually did with this one was I did this pattern right here. This is, I believe, C, view C, and I basically just extended it just a little bit. So this one is a pretty easy hack. You're not really doing anything except extending the bottom just a little bit to your knees, maybe about 5 inches. You can actually even do a longer length for this one. I feel like the corset look looks really good with you know, a cocktail length dress or floor length dress. Wow, that would actually be really fun, wouldn't it? I would love this. Something like this, if you decide to extend it to the bottom, like all the way to the floor, I would recommend lowering the neckline just a little bit and possibly making it a V neckline. And the collar is not like specifically laid out here, but if you can, that would be a great way to kind of make this more holiday, festive friendly. I feel like I change the word like every time, but holiday, flair, festive, you know. I would recommend though, if you do something like this with this outfit, you don't do the little lower cuff. You should probably just do a straight, have it straight all the way down and then hem it. Or you can also, again, trim it down just a little bit. Or when I say trim it down, remove the sleeve and don't do anything to the sleeve. Or you can keep the sleeve and again add that same flare that I had told you in the last I love flare. You probably or puff is what is the actual correct term for that. That was more of a puff sleeve I was referring to. But if you want to add some flare, you can just kind of open up the sleeve just a little bit. Just like that. Oh wow, that looks fun. I should make this. Like all these ideas that I'm like giving, I feel like I want to make this. This is an option. I really love this one. I love the corset style, and you can even change the corset to be like a leather panel. So these panels are fabric, but if you can change the actual panel that holds the grommets or the eyelets and turn that into leather or a different fabric that can kind of make it stand out a little bit. So that's another option that you can do. Also with this one, I see a fun slit. Like, I'm not great at drawing slits, but I see like a fun slit that maybe you can like have right up there. Even if you can't do the neckline, I like a lower neckline, but if you don't want to, you can just keep it, and I think it would still look great, like no matter what you do to it. And also there's like if you want to just do a separate corset, you can. I think that would also be pretty fun. All right, so let me move on to the next one. So this is McCalls 8028, and I love jumpsuits. Let me just tell you that I love a good jumpsuit. I love dresses, but I love a good jumpsuit. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with this one. So I actually been using the color black this whole time, so the outfit's black, so I may not want to use black here. So I'm gonna change it to red. I love red. It's like another color that I absolutely love. What I did when I hacked this pattern is I actually turned it into 2 separate pieces, and that way I can actually use it as a top, a bottom, or like basically like a whole piece. Like if you do it right, you can actually make it look like a jumpsuit by adding a belt, and no one will know that you actually are wearing a top and a bottom. What I have done and what I have liked is the off shoulder. So giving her a little off shoulder. I love off shoulders, by the way. I love off shoulders. Just adds a little bit, you know, more to the outfit. And so I have an off shoulder here. You can actually complete the jumpsuit just by adding the off shoulder. You can add some flare to it. Of course, I love the go-to is flare. Anytime you add flare, this is like version A. You can add a little flare to that, and then you can also just separate it into a top. All right, wear some jeans, and you know what? It's festive. You know, you don't have to, like, you know, make it look like you're going to like the Queen's Ball. Like, you don't have to do that. But, you know, just adding a little bit more flair, festivity to your holiday outfits, you know, goes a long way. So you can basically just chop up A and just make it into a top. Now, I recommend that if you decide to do something like that, anywhere you cut something in half, you always want to extend it, because if you cut it right there, it's going to give you like, it's going to be like a crop top, and you probably don't want to wear a crop top. I mean, I don't know, but I wouldn't for this outfit. If you want to do something with the pants, you can do a paper bag pants. I love paper bag pants. You can basically, I did one for Blair, but you can basically keep the waistline and then extend the top a little bit and just kind of keep that paper bag feel right there. Keep it just like that. Keep in mind with fabrics, and this one's also a knit. I love knits, but I feel like I've used the most knits like in the past like 3 months. This one's good with knits, so you can basically keep the pattern. Don't have to do anything like extending out the legs and stuff, but if you do decide to go with something that's not that stretchy, I would just recommend to just extend out the legs and all that, just to kind of keep it from being too tight. That's something that you can do. So I like paper bag pants. You can do that with this. It's a simple pattern. I would recommend using version B to do the paper bag pants, because that one, it kind of goes a little bit straighter. There's so many jumpsuit patterns out there, but I like this one because it's so easy. And so if you don't have that much time and you want to finish something in like the same day, maybe 2 days, you can use something like this. All right, so here is another one, and I'm still on McCalls. So I have a McCalls, and I believe this one is 8035. It doesn't actually have it written on here. This is brand McCalls. I love this one. I've done this one twice. No, let me say 2.5 times. The half part is where I hacked it and added a circle skirt. I love circle skirts, so I know it's kind of biased that I'm probably just saying, hey, use a circle skirt. I love it. I think it's pretty, and I think that, you know, if you don't want something that's too fitted, I think that it gives you a lot of like pizzazz. That's another word I think I've been using a lot, pizzazz. If I haven't been using it, it's because I'm thinking it. All right, so on my screen I have McCalls 8035, and so I've done this version. I've done A, I've done B, I have not done C, but with A, what I did when I hacked A, I hacked A just a little bit because I wanted this part to just be a little bit more flary. That's a word. I don't know if that's a word. I just kind of took whatever they gave for that and doubled it. You know, so whatever the pattern gave, I doubled it because I felt like it wasn't too, it wasn't very like, you know, wavy. It was just kind of like straight, and I wanted something that had extra on it, so I just doubled it. So you can do that if you ever want something to be more, just double it, you know. You can also, it works well because it's an elastic waist, so you don't have to worry too much about like it being too big. You can just use the elastic weights to bring it in a little bit more. So the first time I did B, I did the whole thing straight just like they said it, and it was amazing. I love it. I actually was gonna wear that one for this video, but I was like, I'll save it. But this one, I loved my B version of McCalls 8035. I actually want to make it again. But what I did when I did hack this pattern is I used B the version of B, but I wanted it to be a wrap dress, and I love wrap dresses as well. Honestly, I just like dresses, so I guess I'm biased. But what I did was I basically just did the top, and I just took out the bottom, took out the elastic, and I made a circle skirt, right? They did like the circle. So basically when you do a circle skirt, you gotta like fold the fabric in half and then fold it in half again. And then that corner that has no raw edges, you basically like find, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Find what you want your circumference to be of your waist, and then I use a calculator usually, but whatever the length is from this end of the wrap to the other end of the wrap is going to be the entire circumference, and you kind of want to make sure that your circle skirt is that circumference, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that correctly. Oopsies. So when you do that, then you're gonna cut it right. It doesn't matter where you cut it, just cut it all the way down, and then you take the one end of the where the wrap starts, and you just kind of like wrap it all the way around. Then you can add a little tie there, or snaps. I mean, you don't always have to add a tie. I think snaps probably would have been easier. I added ties. I love ties also, but if you think adding a tie would be too much, then add snaps. You can add a button, like, just add some flair. If you like the top but not the bottom, just do something different. So you can, even with this one, what if you just did a dual pattern and took the top of this one and then took the bottom of this one and then combined it, and then you have a jumpsuit, but it also has a kind of like wrap silhouette, and then you have a jumpsuit with some pants. Well, jumpsuit does have pants, but you know what I mean. You basically have a different type of jumpsuit. So don't be afraid to branch out, to combine patterns and make it how you want it. And I have one more pattern that I wanted to do, actually two, but I'm gonna be real quick. So this one I'm probably not going to show on my screen because it's so easy, but this one is Simplicity S9010, and I love this one. I haven't made it. I actually almost made it for Valentine's Day this past year, but I didn't end up going with it. This one, I think based on how it looks, sometimes I'll just look at a pattern and be like, I think I can do that. I don't like high necks, okay? I'm not a huge fan of the choking my neck. This one has a high neck, but the back drops a little bit. You can flip it around and make the neck come down a little bit, and then have the back up to your neck. So that is one option that you can do there. And also it works because the slit is in the back. So I like my slits in the front. I think it looks better than back slit. Actually, I take that back. I think they look great both ways. But I think specifically for this one, I think the slit would look nice in the front. I think this would look good backwards. What do you think? I think it would. I'm gonna share one more pattern, and so this one is actually Vogue. All right, and it says easy, so I believe in you if you decide to do a Vogue one. Hopefully it would be easy for you. I think Vogue is hard. Let me not say hard. It challenges me, which is good. It's great if you get challenged. This one, since it says easy, I don't think this one will be much of a challenge, but in general, I've done like 2 Vogue patterns, and they challenged me is what I'm going to say. But that is that. All right, so for this one, I probably don't even have to share my screen with this one. You can do several things with this. So with this, you can actually separate the top. So if you were to do something like that, you would look for where the waistline is, and then I would just add just a little bit to lower it so you don't have like a crop top, and then you can actually like hem it right there. So that would just basically give you like just a top. I like tops. I think this would be a great top. Notice that this is also the same style of a lot of the dresses that I showed you for pattern hacking. I love this style top. It's really, I think it's pretty. It again adds flair. So that is one option. You can also like use the bottom half and just turn it into a skirt, You can, for the skirt part of it, you can basically get a gathering foot or just use the gathers on your sewing machine. You can just get it gathered at the waistline and, you know, add a waistband to it and just kind of like get a skirt that has some extra flair. I mean, there's so much you can do, honestly. I just like to see the potential in some of these patterns, and that's what I can see here. But yeah. This is another one, and if you don't like the turtleneck, you can take the turtleneck out. If you want to lower the neckline, you can. So there's just so much you can do here. But yeah, this is all that I have. I hope that this was helpful. I love pattern hacking, and every opportunity that I get, I try to hack a pattern. And so hopefully you found this helpful, and hopefully if you have not made your outfit, this was helpful for you to kind of figure out how to take something that you already have at home and hack it to make it so much better or more festive and have more flair or pizzazz. So yeah, that's all I have for you. So I will see you later. Hopefully I'm seeing you on Friday, December 18th at the Virtual Holiday Social.